guys, what's going on? Sincere here, whoissincere.com, Anon Radio Live, the All Rights Matter show. Haven't gone live in a minute, but I'm sitting here watching NBC, the Dallas shooting that just happened with the 11 officers being shot, 4 of them being killed. I believe 2 are in critical condition right now. I put out a post about it, talked about it a little bit, but the crazy thing is, as I'm sitting here watching, and really started paying attention to what's going on, I realized that they have the liar on, Brian Williams, who was let go for some time and then, came back not too long ago. So they have Brian Williams covering this critical case for Dallas right now. And I'm listening to the NBC narrative that he's delivering. And I mean, it's out of control. It's outrageous, the narrative that NBC is going with. They're tying in the killings that have just happened to Orlando. What's his name? I believe Orlando Sterling and Philando, Castile, and Alton Sterling. So they're trying to tie in the protesters that were there for these 2 recent African Americans that were shot, and say that these protesters had something to do with it because 2 brothers were actually carrying firearms at the protest. Well, they actually had a guy come on, I forget his name, it was something J. Wright, or his last name was Wright, but he's from the area right there, and he came on and he said, listen, I was standing right next to those guys and they handed their weapons to the police as soon as the shots started, firing out. And he said, and I watched it with my own eyes, so it wasn't anybody that was in our crowd. So he immediately debunked the police, account of what's actually going on. So the media should have said, hey, wait a second, this is breaking information. What are you saying, that the people that are in custody right now, the suspects, those people are not actually the people that are, that are actually firing? They didn't go that direction with it at all. They acted like they didn't even really hear what he said, and they kept going. They kept talking. And that's what's disturbing. That's how you know that a narrative is being delivered by a news outlet instead of them actually investigating. They're not concerned about what that guy had to say. They know what they have to get across, the talking points that they have to hit. And regardless of what he says, their job is just to steer him in the direction of the talking points of the network. Okay? So you got all these people, that are going to start coming out talking by tomorrow morning about Dallas and 4 people, getting killed, shot, or 4 police officers getting killed, 11 getting shot. And none of them are going to realize what really happened because they're not watching it live. I had someone hit me up quite a while ago and actually told me it was going on like as soon as it happened, because I stay, connected with quite a few good outlets and networks and, people doing what I do. And I knew right away what the narrative was going to be. So that's why I'm paying attention to Brian Williams. And I might not listen too much right now anymore because I've already figured out what the narrative is going to be. They've also painted the narrative as far as explosives, that a suspect said that there was possibly explosives all over the place. So there was an indicated blast that has already happened. They're saying that may have been by the police. I think they're trying to control the narrative, the situation. They're trying to control the panic of the situation. But these guys are running around in circles looking silly, if you ask me. Okay, so I don't know who shot the police. I don't know if it was, like the DC sniper, if it was a black guy that was angry about some shit. I don't know. I have no idea. It could be a white guy. It could be one of these government agents, that commit, these false flags. That happens all the time. So at the end of the day, if you're watching this Dallas stuff on MSNBC, realize that a narrative is being delivered to you, and it's being delivered to you by NBC's biggest liar, Brian Williams. He has the most likable face and the professional demeanor and attitude and the stern but calm look. But yet he delivers the most lies and bullshit through the network that you can imagine. And he got called out on it one time. So let's listen a little bit.
To elected politics via business and the private sector. Tell us what you know about your police chief.
Well, Chief Brown has been here for many years and came up through the ranks in Dallas. He's a Dallas native. He at one time was actually in charge of the SWAT team here.
All right, I'm not going to listen to all the police loving talk that's happening now. They've already done the bashing. Which I've already passed that information on to you. Sitting here just watching it live, paying attention, and like I said, that guy went ahead and told them live on their show, you guys are delivering the wrong narrative. I watched these, the young men that had arms, the only two guys that had rifles within the crowd, give up their rifles. He said, so the fact that they're even holding one of them as a suspect, one of the brothers as a suspect, there were two brothers, is outlandish, that it's crazy, that it doesn't make any sense whatsoever. So, they're connecting this hands up, don't shoot kind of scenario, the Black Lives Matter scenario, the people that are standing up for actual true justice, civil rights, and solidarity. They're connecting, this kind of righteousness with the intolerable things that we see happening with, a sniper shooting these innocent officers. So at the end of the day, we have to be careful. We have to be careful of the media. The media is dangerous. And I'm sitting here looking at the irony of Brian Williams deliver the narrative of NBC, and it's so easy to see what their narrative is. They're stirring the pot. You can feel them stirring the racial tension pot. You haven't heard much from me because I've been sitting back watching a lot of things, and I've been going through a lot of things. So I'm not the type of person to incite violence or riots or, go really hard on personal attacks. So I've been trying to hold back a lot of these emotions. But when I see what has happened, within the last couple of days, like I said, with two African American males being shot and these videos going literally viral, one of them going viral on Facebook, that one, brought me to tears to hear the little 4-year-old girl tell her mom in the back of the police car, it's going to be okay, mommy. When her mom was obviously flipping when it really hit her that, oh my God, hold on, they just killed my boyfriend. And to hear that little 4-year-old with such clarity and such spiritual awareness and a positive conviction, say, it's going to be okay, mommy. That has to touch your soul, so people are obviously hurt. And I know for me, I'm a pretty hard, tough 6'5" guy, tough guy. And for me to hear that and be reduced to tears, and I held out on watching it, but when I did, I couldn't believe it. And then, not just that, Alton Sterling, watching what happened to him and just that quick, just to be shot that many times that fast for nothing. I mean, people are obviously hurting, so they're going to march. They're going to speak out against all the systematic racism and all the things that have happened. I've been put in the hospital by cops. I could tell my own stories. I've been, profiled several times, even, quote unquote strip searched on the side of the road by being asked to take off certain articles of clothing, all kinds of stuff, just because I'm black. So I know what it feels like, but I look at the families that are affected. I look at that little girl that sat there and watched that man slumped over and die in front of her with 4 bullets in him. So I understand why people are walking in solidarity in cities across America. It makes sense to march for that sole purpose alone, to show your solidarity with another area that that you may not be able to access and reach, but maybe a few hundred or few thousand of you can get together in your city and say, hey, listen, We support you out there in Minnesota, or we support you wherever, these tragic incidents may happen. But as they were doing that in Dallas, just standing in solidarity, and as they were finishing up, you know, uh, here you go. They have it on the screen again. It says Dallas PD. Suspect says there are bombs all over the place in quotation marks. So supposedly there's bombs at the scene also. But so as these people are standing in solidarity and they're getting ready to leave for these shots to ring out for it to be specifically towards the officers, it's crazy. It really is crazy, and it's crazy the way the media is trying to capture the narrative and really push their own kind of push their own agenda, if you will. So, you guys, hey, thanks for commenting. I'm seeing some good comments in there. Oh yeah, and I'm gonna stay fighting on the right side. I can't ever go over to that side of evil and wickedness. And no, you guys will never see that happen to Sincere ever. I took a blow, guys. I'm not even gonna lie to you. A couple weeks ago, when they released the article about Philip White and the findings that they had about my friend that was killed by this police violence last year, um, I took a serious blow. That article, it triggered some bad things in me, which, it just made me, it triggered a level of anger in me I haven't felt in a really long time. And so for me to, uh, you know, for me to continue to try to do this job the way that I do it, and to do it, from a neutral standpoint, and to do it in an effective way, to always give a progressive step forward, I couldn't do it. The article really took me to the next level of anger, where I felt like I felt insightful. I really did, and I know that with the power of words and video and marketing and media, you can really create a nasty firestorm with the things you do and say, especially if those remarks are marginalized towards individuals. So I decided to take a step back for a little bit. I decided to, see how I need to resolve my anger after the article came out, and again, the local media where I'm from in Vineland, New Jersey, worked with the police department, and they turned this thing into, it's just one of the worst hack jobs I've ever seen. The people in South Jersey and Vineland, New Jersey, where I'm from, they are not only pissed, but they are hurt. They are hurt beyond belief. So, yeah, we got Philando, Castile, and Alton Sterling, that were just killed. But Philip White's situation, that's my buddy that was just killed in March 31st of last year. It's finally come to a close, I should say, because it wasn't just killed, but it's just been decided, but it's finally, it's come this far. And it was pretty much swept under the rug. What they said happened didn't happen. They had a grand jury that nobody knew about. So when this article came out, and the prosecutor, dropped this article through the media, pretty much did a press release through the media, it was just this press release through the media about the findings of the grand jury and what the prosecutor's recommendations are, and findings were, it was just jaw dropping, to say the least. So it hurt me. It hurt me something bad. And I just actually spoke to Philip's mother earlier tonight, and she contacted me and asked me why she hasn't heard from me in a while, and and if I'm okay and stuff. And I told her I was good. I had to step back for a second, because the things I was getting ready to say and do were not who I am as a person. And you can be very intelligent sometimes, but you can think that you have too much wisdom, and that thinking you have too much wisdom equals stupidity sometimes. So I didn't want to fall in that category, and I decided to just shut my mouth, let this anger kind of sit for a little bit. And I've decided now what I want to do, so I'm going to start speaking out, and I'm going to do it in a very in a more organized way. and not just an organized way, but if we're going to stop what's going on, we can either go the route that I was going to go, or we can go another route that's going to be peaceful, but it's going to say who we are as a people, and it's going to cut down every bit of evil and the possibility for that evil to thrive ever. I'm just going to be honest with you. So I've been doing a lot of praying, doing a lot of thinking, and I thank the people that have hit me up. But I'm going to make sure that now what I give you guys is something that's real. I see what's going on here in Dallas, and I think now is the time for me to start talking again, and not just talking, to start activating, to get a couple petitions out there. And I have ideas and things that just aren't being pushed by our quote unquote leadership. So I'm tired of the leadership that's out there. I don't speak bad about people, but until I see trends and I see the same BS. I did an article recently. It's not a secret. I got a video right here on my channel about Black Lives Matter being hacked. I stand for all the values that Black Lives Matter stands for, but I don't stand for the leadership of Black Lives Matter. I've hit them up several times about Philip White's situation. Nothing. Blank. Silence. After the promises of I'll look into it and all this kind of stuff. So, got screenshots, all that, put it all in the article. It's all there. But, I'm sitting here and I'm looking at, how the exploitation of the reality in America happens. There's big money in exploitation. There's big advertising dollars. There's a lot of airtime, a lot of media coverage. Everyone's getting paid off of exploitation. And the people that are not getting paid are the people that are losing their lives. Literally losing their lives. They're not getting paid at all. They're losing everything. Their families are being affected.